Right, just want to do a quick video on how to maintain your wood. We've all been hit by tragedy this coronavirus season. The archery community more than others, as a lot of people haven't been shooting, not maintaining their bows properly, and you end up with stuff like this. Tragic waste of a good bow. So make sure you're shooting your bow regularly if you can. Make sure that you're looking after the wood, oil it. Same with your arrows. So I'm just going to go through a couple of bits and pieces. So first of all, get your bow, one that's in one piece hopefully. You want to check everything, make sure there's no cracks or anything, obvious cracks in the woods. Check around the nocks, make sure that your bowstring's not fraying. Same on the other end. Check that there's no obvious places like where it's going to wear the string on the nocks. And then, if you can, just string your bow. So that's all in there, just making sure that everything is fine and not frayed. Okay. Next thing you want to do is get some raw linseed oil or some Danish oil and put a bit of that onto a cloth. Okay. Bit on a cloth there, and then all you do is just rub it into the wood. Make sure you give it a nice good covering, just to make sure that the wood's not drying out. Keep it nice and supple. Danish oil's just as good. Some people would say better. Some people don't like to use raw linseed on their bows. I've never had an issue with it myself. Also, do the same with your arrows. So with your arrows, make sure you check in that your whipping on the feathers is all intact. See, this one here is a split. I don't know if you can see that there. There's a whipping's coming away, so that needs redoing. All the feathers are intact, so that's fine, just needs re-whipping. Make sure there's no obvious cracks in the shafts, and check the blunts. If you've got any worn blunts where the wood's starting to come through the end, then just replace those. And then the same with those. Get a linseed oil again on your rag and oil your shafts. Or some people will empty a bottle of linseed oil into a bucket and stand them in there, so it all sucks it into the wood. But stops them shattering on impact, makes your arrows last longer hopefully, and makes them a bit more flexible. The last thing you want is broken arrows. Okay. So the other thing with your bow is make sure that your string is all nicely waxed. Block of beeswax and just give it a good rub. Make sure it's all intact. And one last thing with the maintenance of your bow, warming up your bow before you shoot it. Because my U-bow there that exploded, I was guilty of this. So when you warm up your bow, you want to start, it's not rubbing the williams to make sure they're all warm. It's a case of just doing small draws to start with, just to get the bow used to, get it in the knowledge that it's going to be doing some work soon. So just take some small draws just to get the limbs working before you start pulling all the way up to full draw. So if you pull a bow that hasn't been shot for ages, full draw straight away, you end up with that, and it's not good. Alright, just take care of your wood.